Hey everybody, how's it going? I thought I'd make a quick video today and kind of just give you guys my thoughts about something, which is related to AI. If you're kind of fed up hearing about AI, just skip this video because I am. Just recently, I had like a really good um, fortune to work with the code completely written by AI by one of the junior developers. And I swear to God, yeah, I have not seen code so confusing before. You know what? If you guys read books like Uncle Bob, I don't know the guy's name. Don't repeat yourself, and these sort of principles. If you guys have read these sort of things, you know how to write good clean code. You know because the code you write is gonna be used by someone else, and if it's used by someone else, then you gotta make sure that it's kind of understandable, the intention is clear, and all that. The AI doesn't seem to know that. Yeah, the code that I was browsing was mainly PHP code. It was code written in a bespoke system. It kind of just some interaction with the API, and the code was just so confusing. It was just so confusing. Something that I think, would have taken me about half an hour to 45 minutes to understand. Just kind of get used to the flow, what's happening around, and it took me almost 2 hours just to understand that bit, because just the code, the way it was written, just so much bloat, so much extra piece of code. And the comments that were there, they were there. The comments explain the code, but they fail. This is what happens when people don't read books anymore. You guys just, well, not you guys, but some people just, they don't add the intention what the code is meant to do, kind of. There's a little bit of insight behind the code that was completely missing. So I use cloud to understand the code, and I use cloud to make the changes. um, because I was under the impression I wouldn't need cloud, I wouldn't need any of this, because the feature they wanted to add was pretty simple, and there was just so much code written unnecessarily. The stuff that the person did in 400 lines of code could have been 100 easily. I don't know why they went on and to create unnecessary class, unnecessary variables. And yeah, it just made code so much difficult to work with. And I'm not a person who likes to shit on other people, but for God's sake, guys, if you're a junior developer, read books, learn the fundamentals, learn how the code should be written, read about drive principles, read about little bit about functional programming, object oriented, how the code should be. Take notes of how a, a clean code should look like. Read code written by someone who knows what they're doing, and yeah, just level yourself up. Don't completely rely on AI. And yeah, you are gonna be nightmare to work with, whoever you are, if you guys do that. Totally, I mean, relying on AI is not bad, but put your thought into it. Tell AI that this is wrong, don't do this. You don't need to create an additional 10 function just to do something simple. If you're just trimming a string, you don't need to create a function to trim a string and then add a comment on top of that. Why do we need that? The function to trim a string is already there in the language itself, so you don't need to do that. But yeah, like, God's sake, guys, just I don't want it to be sound like a rant, but also I'll tell you what you should do instead. Learn some fundamentals of programming. Kind of try to write code without AI. Once you can write and do that, just then rely on AI and yeah, write the code. I'm not saying to completely scrap AI. You should not do that anyway, because you're gonna fall behind if you do that. The deadlines that people set, and all those things. I want to keep it realistic, but in your spare time, do kind of understand how things work and all that. Just the basic principles of writing code. Read books, yeah. And yeah, you'll do better, because look, um, when a senior developer says they can't understand this code because this is trash, other people kind of just believe. And if you're a junior, you're gonna have issues. So don't put yourself in that position. Do review your code, and yeah, act on the feedback. But read books, read articles, read things. that will make you a better programmer. Completely relying on AI is kind of it'll backfire. It'll backfire. Maybe you're in a company where you can work fine, but when you go join a new company, they have different ways of doing things. They have people reviewing the code, and it'll backfire. So keep that in mind, guys.